Yo, what is good, YouTuber? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the top 10 best centers in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Before we hop into this video, just a couple things. First of all, this list is current gen based, so the rankings on next gen might be a little bit different, and that is okay. Although I will say with the center position, I do think the translation is pretty similar from current gen to next gen. The one thing I will say is on next gen that Yao would probably be somewhere in this top 10, maybe even borderline top 5. On current gen, I don't think he's a top 10 center, so that's like the one big difference I would say on the rankings. Also, these rankings are entirely my opinion, so keep that in mind as well. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of my list. Who would you rank higher? Who would you rank lower? Who would you put on the list that I left off the list? But yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 4,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. We really appreciate your support. About 250 subscribers away from that mark, and I would really appreciate it if you do subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Let's start off with number 10. At number 10, I really couldn't decide who I wanted to put at this number 10 spot. I went with Joel Embiid as the guy I finally wound up going with, but definitely considered multiple options for a while here. But I will say, Embiid, 7 foot with a 7'5" wingspan. He's got good size, hot spots in 4 out of 5 spots, 15 hoffs, which include catch, corner, decent finishing badges, as well as good defensive badges like brick wall, inner, and Tim, boost, stick, post, lock, and rim. Does need a few badges added to him, like a pick dodger, unpluckable, limitless spot up, blinders, but overall limitless takeoff as well. So once you add those badges to him, he is pretty complete. 88 shot 3 is good. He's not the fastest center, 85 speed in Excel, but definitely not slow either. That is a super solid speed to have. Good dunker, really solid defender on both the perimeter and the interior. He's got good defensive badges. Jumper is nice and smooth. He's just a really good all-around card. He's not an elite card. I don't feel like at any specific thing at this point. He is still a really nice shooter though. Overall, just a guy who gets it done on the defensive, on both ends of the court at the center position. I still think he is a top 10 center in the game. Definitely still think he is usable in a competitive setting, and he is the guy that I decided to go with at number 10. At number 9, I'm going with Shaq. I personally, just me, am not even that big of a fan of Shaq, but that being said, I still think he has a lot of value on the court for a few different reasons. First of all, he's 7'1" with a 7'7" wingspan and a massive player build, so that's the first thing that really does help him out. No hotspots, obviously, only has a 55 shot 3-pointer, even with shooting badges like limitless, blinders, catch and shoot, deadeye, sniper added to him. He still is not going to be a very good shooter, even if he works for example, to add not Don Nelson, who is a coach that boosts 3-point shot. There we go. Lenny Wilkins. He boosts that to 63, and then a +4 shoe makes that a 67. Floor general makes that a 70 some. So you can get it to the point where it is greenable wide open, and some people do green relatively somewhat consistently with Shaq, but his release isn't great, and he's just not going to be that good of a shooter regardless. But he does have Hoff quick first step, as well as a bunch of great defensive badges like clamps, inner, and Tim, pogo, post lock, rim, rebound, brick wall, etc. All the key defensive badges, he's got him. Doesn't need a lot of badges added to him as well. I mean, ball stripper, pick dodger, and some shooting badges if you want to. Jumper, I'm not a fan of, and his movement isn't great, but as a center, it's not super important what your movement is looking like. Yeah, Shaq is a great card because he's so fast, so elite defensively, such an elite rebounder. He's one of the best cards in the game, period, at everything that is not shooting. And I think, despite the fact that I'm not a big fan of inside centers, Shaq is the exception where he just still is so good at everything else that he still deserves a spot here in this top 10. At number 8, we're going with Kevin Garnett. I am a big fan of KG. I think he's a very, very good card. And he's solid at the center position at 6'11" with 7'2" wingspan, so he's got solid size. Hot spots from both corners, 17 hoffs, which include finishing badges, catch and shoot, quick first step, and a bunch of good defensive badges. Every defensive badge is at least on gold. Comes, again, pretty complete. Only needs a couple badges like limitless, blinders added, mouse in the house as well. But overall, pretty darn complete. Really good defender, good rebounder. Just another card who is pretty complete all the way around. He's got good speed, a good shooter. Jumper is smooth. It's not like fast, but it's decent. Even on quick, I wouldn't say it's a fast release. KG's release on normal was a bit slow and a little bit baited, but it's definitely less baited on quick. Still really easy to green as well. Fundamental dribble style, which is good for a big. Kobe size up. Overall, he's just kind of good at everything. He's a better version of Joel Embiid, I feel like, where he can defend at a high level. He's got decent movement. He's a good shooter with a solid release. Can attack the rim a bit. He's just a solid all-around card. I do think he does deserve his spot inside the top 10. And at number 7, I have Dwight Howard. I might even be a little bit low on Dwight, but I just don't love a couple things about Dwight. One thing I will say, though, despite that, Dwight has 96 speed in Excel center, which is absolutely nuts. Defensive stats are incredible. Defensive badges are maybe better than the stats. Like, they're absolutely insane. The only badges that you'd want on Hoff that he has on gold would be ankle braces, ball stripper, pick dodger. But honestly, I mean, he's a center. He's ridiculous on the defensive end of the court. Half quick first step as well. Great finishing badges. Needs badges like unpluckable, and then shooting badges, limitless, sniper, blinders, deadeye added to him. But with a shoe, with a coach, things like that, you're going to get this three-pointer easily up into the 80s and higher, which is definitely super nice. Jumper isn't great, but it's not bad. So he can be that good shooter, and he's elite everywhere else. He's kind of like Shaq, a little bit smaller, but really, really elite at everything except for shooting. But he is that better shooter with a slightly better release, much better shooting stats. So he's just a better version of Shaq is what I'd say. Really elite everywhere, but he can also shoot at a high level, and that does help him out a lot. The one thing I will say about Dwight, he is only 6'11", so it's a tiny bit short. I wouldn't say it's super short, and I'm not a huge fan of the release, to be fair. I don't love this release even on quick, but I do think Dwight is a great center option, and I think I might even be a little bit low on him at number 7. At number 6, we got Karl Malone, and is it weird to say that a guy who's only 6'9" at center is number 6 at this point at the center position? And maybe, but I do believe Karl Malone is one of the most versatile and well-rounded cards in the game. 6'9", 7-foot wingspan, admittedly a little undersized. 4 out of 5 hotspots though, 22 hops, include a bunch of finishing badges, great defensive badges, half quick for step, catch, and corner. Another card who doesn't need many badges added, like blinders, maybe chef, pick dodge. Like, he doesn't really need anything added to him. Stats are incredible. He's a really, really fast, great slasher, great shooter, really great, well-rounded defender, really good hot rebounding stats as well. Half rebound chaser, rim protector, post lock, pogo stick, and Tim. All of those interior badges help to negate the size a little bit. His jumper is super quick, super hard to contest. One of the hardest to contest jumpers in the game for whatever reason, which does help him out as well. He gets the best movement of any card in this list with quick. Best movement of any card on this list with quick dribble style, Kobe size, so that's nice as well. Yeah, Karl Malone is just super versatile. He's an incredible option even at the center position. He does have a solid player build even at only 6'9". I wish I had this card because he is an absolute god. I would love to be able to run him at my power forward position, and I think if you do have him, you can run him at center as well if you do feel the need to do so. At the number 5 spot, we got Hakeem Olajuwon, who I am pretty darn high on as well. Hakeem is definitely a really good card. 7 foot with a 7'3" wingspan, 20 hops. It's a lot of Hall of Fame badges, especially for a Galaxy Opal. Really good interior badges, catch, corner, and great defensive badges. Another card who's just pretty darn good all the way around. I feel like the thing that he has going for him is that he is 7 foot with a good player build though. 89 speed and excel. He's a good shooter, good dunker, but really great defender. He has some awesome defensive animations. He rebounds really, really well. One of the best rebounding centers in the game for whatever reason. His release, I would say, kind of similarly to Dwight, and not my favorite. I think it's a little bit. It's on the same level as Dwight's, to be honest. Not a great release, not the fastest release, but it's smooth and easy to green, which is nice. Fundamental dribble style is also very, very good for a big, and I think he does play defense really a little bit better than the stats say and badges say that he would. His badges are still very, very good. Stats aren't crazy, at least on the perimeter, but I do feel like he plays incredible defense. He's an elite rebounder. Really good, solid catch and shoot guy as well with a good 3-point rating. Overall, just pretty darn good all the way around. I really do think Hakeem is one of the most well-rounded cards in the game at that center position. I think he does deserve his spot in the top 5. At number 4, we're getting to the really god tier centers, which is Patrick Ewing. These top 4 centers, I do believe, are a slight step above the rest, and Patrick Ewing is the first of those 4 guys. I think you could easily make an argument for Patrick top 3. Him and the guy I have at number 3 are basically interchangeable in my opinion, but I did decide to go Patrick Ewing at number 4. 7 foot with a 7'3" wingspan. He's got another big player build similar to Hakeem. 90 speed and excel, good shooter, really good dunker, and great defensive stats. Also, Huff Sniper is nice on a big, catch and corner. Those are good badges to have. Good interior badges. Also has Huff Clamps. All those key defensive badges. Again, the same badges that I keep repeating. He's got those on Huff, which is nice. Again, another card that doesn't need a lot of badges added either. It's like Limitless, Deadeye, Blinders, Unpluckable, and Ball Stripper. Those are the badges, maybe ankle braces. So you can add those badges to make them totally complete, which is good. Jump Shot 4, though, that base is super nice, and it's on quick. It's really solidly quick. It's hard, a little bit hard to contest, easy to get off, easy to green. It's a very, very nice big man release. I'm glad they changed Ewing's release because Ewing's base on his first card this year and really every year is not a good base, but they changed it to Jump Shot 4, and now he's one of the best big men in the game. Definitely an elite option. I'm very, very high on Patrick Ewing. Really do enjoy using the card. He's on my God squad right now, and yeah, definitely do think he deserves his spot at number 4. At number 3, we got D-Rob, who I think is basically interchangeable with Patrick Ewing, like I said. D-Rob is 7'1" with a 7'5" wingspan, so he's really, really big. Hotspots from both corners. 20 hops include drop stepper, post spin, catch, corner, sniper, quick first step, and defensive badges galore. Elite defender, solid rebounder, especially with the Hoff rebound chaser, even if the stats are only at 90. He's a really good dunker, great shooter. He has one of the best big man releases in the game as well, which is something that I really do like about him. The D-Rob release on quick is one of my favorite releases on this list, 100%. It's right up there with guys like Karl Malone. It's just so smooth and so easy to grant. I'm such a huge fan of this release. It's quick as well, and another card who doesn't really need badges added to him like at all. When you look at this card, I'd say he's the most complete of any of the centers we've looked at so far. Really not missing any key badges. Like, you can add a Deadeye or a Chef or I don't know, some playmaking badges, but he's not really a playmaker. Like, that's not what he does. He comes incredibly darn complete, which is another valuable thing about this card, is that you just don't have to add badges to him. And he definitely deserves his spot in the top 3 for me personally. He's starting at power forward for me right now, and I think he is elite at the center position as well. At number 2, we got Artis Gilmore, who's an absolute god. A very expensive card to lock in, so I don't really recommend locking him in unless you have tons of MT, but I did lock him in personally, and I'm such a huge fan of the card. He's 7'2" with a 7'5" wingspan and a massive player build with an afro that makes him look about 7'3", 7'4". He grabs every rebound. He has hot spots from only both corners. 80 shot 3. It does need badges added to him, like the playmaking badges, like a quick first step, glue hands, limitless, sniper, deadeye, ball stripper, badges like that. Blinders, limitless takeoff, like those are the 8 badges that I would add to him. He does have 8 badge slots. I would make sure I use all of them for those badges, but he's got really good speed, especially for a 7'2" player. 88 speed and excel, really good dunker, incredible defender, incredible rebounder. He grabs like every board and doesn't get mashed on the inside because of how big he is, as well as how great his stats are, which does help. Really solid shooter as well, especially once you get those shooting badges on him. Jump shot 1 on quick is nice and smooth. It's a solid release. Not my favorite release in the world, but for a pick and pop big, it'll definitely get the job done. And he can shoot really, really consistently as well, which does help him out. Fundamental dribble style is nice. He's very, very big. Not going to be the greatest playmaker in the world, but having that just as another option does not hurt at all either. And overall, Artis is an absolute god. My backup center, and I think he's the second best center in the game. But at number 1, we have Karima Dulcibar. I don't think that's any surprise. He's my starting center. He's a lot of competitive players starting center right now. He is the best center in the game. 7'2" with a 7'5" wingspan. Hot spots from both corners, just like Artis. Tons of interior finishing badges, half quick first step, and key defensive badges galore. Incredible defensive stats, all 90+. Incredible rebounder, incredible dunker, incredible athleticism. Everything is 90+ on this card, basically, except for the except for the 3-point shot, which, to be fair, do you want to put a shoe on that? You want to get that up to that 83, get a coach boost as well if possible. Add limitless, add sniper, add blinders, add deadeye, add those shooting badges to him for sure. Otherwise, limitless takeoff as well, and that's about all the badges he needs. Jumper is nice though. Jump shot 21 on, very quick. It's smooth, quick, easy to green. Larry Nance is the only other key player I would say who has that release, but it's a good release. It's the same release Kareem has every single year. I've liked it for years, and I've thought it's really, really good for years, and that hasn't changed. Some people, I don't know, don't love this release. I think it's really smooth and really easy to green. I'm really consistent with it. I've been using Kareem for years, and I think that his release is very consistent and easy to green every single year, and this year is no different. Kareem is an absolute god. Fundamental dribble style as well with that 91 speed is nice. Half quick first step. The Kobe size up, which is, why would you give the Kobe size up to a center? I don't know, but it's also nice to have to crab from like mid-range and stuff, or even crab from 3 and get off some shots like that. Overall, Kareem is the best card in the game. I mean, I would argue he's the best card in the game, probably not just best center. He plays so incredibly good. And yeah, number 1 center in the game, in my personal opinion. So this is my list of the top 10 centers in the game right now. Let me know what you think of the list down in the comment section down below. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.